Ladies and gentlemen, it is your host right here. Yep, it is Team Alright. So, how is everyone doing out there? On this Wednesday's edition, I am doing far out. And of course, I will talk about my social accounts when this video is over. Now it is time for my quick introduction. I want you guys and gals to sit back, relax, put your feet up, grab something to eat, or grab something to drink. Or maybe, just maybe, you want to chill like a villain and hear my thoughts, my opinions on this subject. And of course, the link will be down below, or the article will be down below. It'll be strictly a link. You know why? I'll tell you why right now. If you guys can go double click the link, you can read it or watch the podcast down below. There you go. Let's begin with this video. It has been a very long time since I talked about this one certain wrestler. It's the one, the only, Chris Benoit. I am just going to talk about his wrestling accomplishments, not outside the wrestling world, because who wants to hear that anymore, right? Now, off the record, probably some of you or a lot of you know that back in the day, my mom and I traveled to New York City for WrestleMania 20, 2004. It seemed like yesterday, but it was an awesome environment. I think that was my very first WrestleMania. I don't know. Time goes so fast. And of course, the main event, I really want to talk about Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. I love that belt. You guys agree? Disagree? Leave a comment down below. Now, I think Chris Benoit was a very, very good performer back in the day of the wrestling. You know, in WCW and his days in the WF/WWE. Great matches, great rivalries. Even, what's his name? There's an interview, Chris Van, I cannot pronounce his last name, I'm sorry. He had an interview with the man himself, Paul Heyman. Now, Paul Heyman, he's a sneaky little dude because that's his flipping character, okay? You like just want to just strangle him because he been so evil. But you know, see, not really strangle him, but you know, he gets under your skin. That's how I'm trying to say. So if you want to read it, that's fine. If you want to watch the podcast, that's fine. Probably most of you just gonna watch the podcast instead of reading it. Okay, all that good stuff. Now we all know Paul Heyman has been a long time in the wrestling business. Ever since his version of ECW, I think I made a video on it a couple of days ago. If you have not seen that video, what are you waiting for? Go check it out. But back to Chris Benoit, no one thought in 04 the Rumble he will ever win the flipping Rumble, and they give him the opportunity, and he ran with it, and that was a very, very good storyline. It really was. And of course, at Backlash, they ran it back. 3 members of, I don't know why I said twice, of the main event for WrestleMania 20. It was not as good as WrestleMania 20, but it was still good. You know what I'm saying? Like they always say, lightning in the bottle twice or something like that. You know, the video package was good, and it was just amazing how they ran it back. And I think it was in Chris Benoit's hometown, right? Wasn't it? I can't imagine if WWE says, let's give it back to Triple H or give it to Shawn Michaels. How in the hell would you feel if Chris Benoit only held a belt for a month, then he lost it the next month in April sometime? I think it was the end of the month. They promoted Chris Benoit. Remember that cover on the DVD back in the day? I used to have that. And of course, I give it all my wrestling pay-per-views back in the day because what's the point of it? I mean, not now, but back then, you know, when the WWE Network launched. But that's just another story. But I don't know what other DVDs covers he was on. Chris Benoit. It might be worth a lot of money now since he's not with us anymore. I know what really happened, so I'm not even talking about that. Like I said a few minutes ago, it's still sad to this day. Now, another thing is, if that incident never ever happened in his personal life, he would definitely will be a first ballot WWE Hall of Famer. But I guess someone asked Paul Heyman about Chris Benoit, great performer, but outside of the square circle, Paul Heyman has a different how he feels about him. So I feel the same way. You know, great performer, and other stuff I don't want to talk about. It's very, very sad to this day. Like I said, I remember the SmackDown vs. Raw series. I used to use the Chris Benoit character against RVD. I had so much fun back in the day. You can't do that in today's games of WWE. He's not on that roster. I think you just got downloaded. I think fans will still make it. And 2K will never probably block that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now, back to Chris Benoit. Do you think he had a better career in WCW or the WF/W? In my opinion, the WF/W, bar none. He won the flipping Rumble. He headlined a WrestleMania, and he even headlined a pay-per-view in his hometown. I don't think he ever did that in WCW. They gave him the opportunity in WCW, but I think he dropped it the next night. And then I think, I don't know, the whole story, the Radicals came out on Monday Night Raw. That was so awesome. Now, in that group, who do you think really stands out? In my opinion, it was got to be Chris Benoit and the Girl. That's the only ones took off. You know, eventually, you know, they did. And it was so awesome. So those two guys won championships and had a great WrestleMania moment. I think they did it later in life, but it was never the same. So that's it. And I know a lot of people miss Eddie Guerrero more than Chris Benoit because of what happened in his personal life. You know, I miss Chris Benoit as a performer. Outside of the square circle, that's a different story. And I know a lot of you, or some of you, agree with me. That's fine, Danny. Now, I think I went a little overboard with the video. I do apologize. Now, follow me on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all my social media accounts will be down below for sure. Now, if you want to be a part of my show, that'd be lovely. If not, do all my thanks for watching this video and my class video, and I'll see you guys tonight. Peace.